because self-realization means to know yourself, it means self-mastery. It means to know yourself as peace, abundance, happiness, clarity, joy, freedom. So it's really the fulfillment, the total fulfillment of all desire. And in order to discover that self-realization, we need to be very truthful with ourselves. And we need to recognize that we are complete beings, that nothing can be denied or shut out. And so we want to stop playing that unnecessary and painful game with ourselves to try and shut out aspects of ourselves, to deny aspects of ourselves, because it just really doesn't work. So we have desires, we need to fulfill those desires, and all desires actually need to be fulfilled. That's just the truth. So some people have the wrong notion that it is possible and desirable to suppress or deny desires. And what that effectively does is it creates a kind of energetic or spiritual constipation. So if you've been trying to do that and you feel not so great, that's the reason why. So when I say that all desire needs to be fulfilled, I do not mean that we need to manifest the fulfillment of all desires at the worldly plane of existence, because we have so many desires. And most of those desires are borrowed. They're not really authentically ours. So it would be foolish, very difficult, and very, very, very time consuming to try and fulfill all desires at a manifest level. But we do need to fulfill them. So we need to approach that intelligently. The overall goal here is self-realization, which is total fulfillment. It's to know that you already are that which you seek. See, that's the big secret, right? You think we start out thinking we want certain things. You know, we want the house, we want the relationship, we want the car, we want the job, we want the money, we want the better health, we want the this, that, and the other. And we get those things, and that's fine and good, because there are no real shortcuts here. So you have to take step by step. You have to start where you are. It's always very important. If you're trying to start somewhere else, it's never going to work. But as we fulfill some of those desires, we realize, well, maybe there was something underneath that, right? Something that's a little bit more closer to home. It's like, I thought I wanted the relationship, but actually what I wanted was the relationship with myself, right? I wanted to actually know love, harmony, and peace within myself. I thought I wanted the money. What I really wanted is the true abundance and security within myself. So step by step, we go through this journey, and then eventually we discover that all along, well, that's the big punchline, always, it's always within you. You seek that which you already are, but you've projected it outward. You seek the abundance because you already are that abundance. You couldn't seek it. You couldn't even know about it if it wasn't already true of you. So that's the total fulfillment. That's the self-realization, is to realize that that which I seek is already here fulfilled within me. But like I say, there are no shortcuts. You can't just snap your fingers and make that happen without going through the necessary steps for you, because you set up the journey for you. It's your journey. It's your perfect journey. It's your story. You set it up because you wanted it. You wanted to have this story. You wanted to know about yourself in this particular way. So you set it up. You know, you said, whatever your thing is in this life, I want to know about love. And so I set it up so that I'm learning through this journey of starting with a sense of unworthiness or unlovability or separation or whatever it is. We have to take that journey. And we have to thereby accept and understand that it's important to fulfill our desires. It's not bad. It's the way. Because again, the ultimate desire is to know yourself. And that's definitely not bad. That's the big deal of all of the spiritual traditions, is to know yourself. That's the fundamental desire. That's the best desire. That's the most important desire. That is the desire that gives the payoff, right? What we're promised is that who are you really? Sat Chit Ananda. What does that mean? It means truth, consciousness, bliss. You want to know that. It's not enough just to have that theoretical knowledge. You actually want to know that directly. Well, in order to have that experience, you have to go through this journey. You have to start out with a setup, a kind of false setup of separation in order to realize yourself as that. So you set up a particular pathway for yourself, and you have to go through those steps in order to have the payoff, the the conclusion, the fulfillment, the climax of your story. And that's why I say again, the desires are not bad. And you have to fulfill all of them. But as I said, you don't have to fulfill all of them at the manifest level, just those which are true for you. Because again, most of those desires are borrowed. You don't want most of those things. The most of the things that you think you want are just because your parents told you that, or your neighbors told you that, or your spouse told you that, or your children told you that, or a teacher told you that, or the television told you that, or Facebook told you that, or whatever. Okay, somehow you inherited these notions about what is desirable, what you should want, who you should be, right? You should be successful, and success looks like this particular thing. A classic example is the person who's groomed to be a doctor by their parents. But if that's not true for them, they'll never find fulfillment there. They might, in an odd, indirect, roundabout way, because they realize after 20 years of being the doctor that they don't really want to be, that they quit that and go seek their bliss somewhere else. But the sooner that we can fulfill the desires that are not ours simply by realizing they're not ours and thereby letting them go, that is a true fulfillment, right? If it's not yours, to realize it's not yours and let it go, that is a fulfillment. So the sooner you can do that, the better, which is why I advocate get clear on what you want, then have the courage to let go of everything else. Because again, if it's not true for you, you're wasting your time. You have a particular journey, a particular path that is yours. Nobody else's is your path. There may be certain overlaps, right? And here's a secret is that everybody who's here, whether you're live or you're listening to this on YouTube, there's an overlap in our paths. Okay. That's why you're here, because I'm sharing something with you that's actually ultimately coming from yourself to yourself, revealing something to you about your path.